Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. This time, we're taking a look at the tale of Nico, the clumsy chameleon.
Yeah.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. It's a children's story.
Yeah.
But stick with us here.
Okay.
Because, believe me, the lessons in this one about personal growth and resilience, well,
Yeah.
they really hit you in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
We're going deep
Yeah.
into insights that could honestly change
Totally.
how you see your own potential.
I love that.
So we've got Nico.
Yeah.
He's this chameleon who's basically
Right.
tripping over his own tail
He is.
in this village where
Yeah.
all the other animals are super talented.
They are. It's true.
That makes you think, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like
Yeah.
you were the Nico in your own life?
Like you don't belong, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's interesting, this
Mhm.
whole story uses these animal characters.
Right.
But it's really tapping into something.
Okay. So very human,
Yeah.
That feeling of not measuring up.
It's like we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Comparing ourselves to those people who
Yes.
just seem to have it all figured out.
Right.
But what Nico's journey
Yeah.
shows us
Yeah.
is that when we get
Yeah.
so fixated on those comparisons,
Mhm.
it can really blind us
Yeah.
to our own strengths.
Totally.
And then it gets really interesting
Yeah.
because Nico ends up getting invited to compete for this
Yeah.
really prestigious title,
Right.
Guardian of the Jungle.
Huge honor.
Huge honor. This wise master tigra
Yes.
chooses him, the clumsy chameleon.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, if you were a betting animal,
I know.
would you put your money on Nico?
Probably not, right?
No.
It's so interesting because
Yeah.
it really does challenge
Yeah.
all our assumptions about
Oh, yeah.
where opportunities come from,
Right.
What if we're so focused on what we think we lack
Yeah.
that we completely miss
Yeah.
these doors opening right in front of us?
Totally.
I mean, Nico could have so easily just let his self-doubt win,
Totally.
but he took a chance.
Yeah.
And that's where the real growth
Begins. It's interesting
Yeah.
because he ends up in this competition against cheetahs,
Right.
elephants.
Like the Jungle All-Stars.
Right, the All-Stars.
Yeah.
And, as you might have guessed,
Yeah.
it is a total disaster.
Total disaster.
The speed trial, he can't lift a feather in the strength test.
I was cringing for him, like
Yeah.
watching a friend bomb an audition,
Yeah.
It's like painful.
And that's kind of where the story shifts from just being entertaining
Yeah,
to being truly insightful.
totally.
Because it's not about Nico
Right,
magically becoming the best at everything.
right.
It's about him persevering.
Yeah. And what's interesting,
Is that Master Tigra sees something in him
totally.
that he doesn't even see himself.
Right.
There's this scene
Yeah,
where she's meditating by this waterfall.
yeah.
And Nico, completely defeated, goes up to her and asks,
Yeah.
why me?
Yeah.
I'm clearly not cut out for this.
Yeah.
And her answer is pure gold.
She compares him to water.
Yes.
And she says,
Yeah.
water doesn't fight to
Yeah.
be strong or fast, it adapts.
Such a good line.
Mind blown. Yeah. I mean,
don't
how
think-
often do we try to force ourselves into these situations
Oh,
instead of being
think
like
so.
water flowing around the obstacles,
Yeah.
finding a way?
Finding a way.
I think we often mistake
Yeah, I know, right?
rigidity
Yeah.
for strength,
Yeah.
but real power, the kind that leads to lasting success,
Yeah.
comes from
It's adaptability.
adaptability,
Yes. Yeah.
being resourceful
Yes.
and flexible.
Totally. When you're faced with a challenge.
Totally.
So
yeah.
fast forward to the final challenge.
Okay.
It's like straight out of an action movie.
I know. Right.
Retrieving this golden leaf
Yes.
from this crazy, dangerous canyon.
Totally.
I mean, you've got collapsing bridges,
Right.
roaring waterfalls,
Yeah.
the whole works.
A whole thing.
And, Nico's going up against
Darn.
the best of the best.
Right.
But this is where it gets
Yeah.
really fascinating.
Hold on.
One by one.
Yeah.
All these top contenders,
Right.
they're getting taken out.
It's true.
Like, it's
Yeah.
almost as if they're so focused on
Yeah.
brute force, on being the strongest or
Yeah.
fastest,
Right.
that they're totally missing the nuances of the
Mhm.
challenge.
It's true.
And then there's Nico.
Right.
Instead of trying to overpower these obstacles,
Yeah.
he uses his camouflage to his advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So smart.
a brilliant illustration
It really is.
of how sometimes
Yeah.
what we think of as a weakness
Yeah.
can actually be our secret weapon.
Totally.
I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where your unique way of thinking
Totally.
or a skill you downplayed
Yes.
actually ended up saving the day.
All the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've got Nico.
Yeah.
He's facing this giant snake.
Right.
The tension is unreal.
Oh my God.
Like you think he's done for.
Totally.
But then, boom,
Yeah.
he blends right into the background.
He disappears.
I love that this story isn't about
Right.
some magical transformation.
It's not like he suddenly gets super strength or speed.
Right.
Yeah.
He wins by being himself.
Totally.
That's so important.
It really is, because
Yeah.
Nico's success, it wasn't about
Yeah.
conforming to some standard
Yeah.
of strength.
Yeah.
It was about understanding
Yeah.
his unique ability and applying it strategically.
Totally.
And that's powerful
Yeah.
for all of us.
Absolutely.
What if we, instead of trying to fit in,
Yeah.
really focused on what makes us different?
Right. What makes us stand out?
Yeah.
So picture this.
Okay.
Nico gets that golden leaf.
Uh-huh.
He returns to the dojo.
Yeah.
And everybody's jaws are on the floor.
I know.
Even Nico is like,
Good.
wait, what?
Yeah, he can't believe it.
He can't believe he won.
Totally.
But Master Tigra lays it out perfectly.
She does.
He says, true strength comes from knowing yourself
Yeah.
and using your unique abilities to help others.
Such a good quote.
I feel like we need to print that on a t-shirt.
Totally.
It's so interesting because after this whole experience,
yeah.
even the animals who were mocking Nico
Right?
at the beginning, they're totally inspired.
Yeah.
It's like this beautiful moment
Yeah.
of realizing that everyone has something special to offer.
It highlights how
No, just
embracing that individuality
Yeah,
creates that ripple effect
Yeah.
of positive change.
absolutely.
This story, it's packed with valuable takeaways.
Yeah.
But I think if we
Yeah.
had to boil it down
Okay, let's do it.
to the essentials.
What are the key lessons here
Yeah.
that our listeners can take away
Yeah. Totally.
and actually apply to their lives?
I love that.
First and foremost,
Yeah.
embrace your individuality.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up
Is.
comparing ourselves
Yeah.
to others, but that comparison game,
Yeah.
it's a trap.
Oh, it's a total trick.
Focus on your strengths,
Yes.
even the ones that seem a little quirky,
Yeah. Or unconventional.
unconventional.
Right.
What about you?
What about me?
Listener,
Yeah.
what stands out to you from Nico's journey?
Yeah.
What resonates most?
What are you taking away from this?
And number two,
Okay.
perseverance.
Yeah.
Nico could have quit
Easily.
after that first disastrous trial,
I know.
but he stuck with it.
He did.
And I think that's so important.
It is.
It's not about avoiding failure.
Right.
It's about having the grit
Yeah.
to get back up.
Yeah.
Learn from those setbacks
Yes.
and keep moving forward.
You got to keep moving.
Absolutely.
It's like that saying,
Oh, yeah.
fall 7 times, stand up 8.
Exactly.
You know?
It's not about never messing up.
Yeah.
It's about having the courage
Yeah, to keep going.
to get back up
Yeah.
and try again.
Yeah, and I think
And maybe even with a
that's-
slightly different approach this time.
what's interesting is that
Yeah.
every challenge, every obstacle we overcome
Yeah.
makes us more resilient,
Totally.
more capable
Okay.
of handling whatever comes our way.
And you don't have to go through it alone.
No, you don't.
Just like Nico had Master Tigra.
Right. Like, we need those
Yeah.
support systems.
Right. Those people who believe in us,
Exactly. Who believe in us.
who challenge us,
Yeah.
and who help us see our potential,
Yeah.
even when we can't see it ourselves.
I love that. Yeah.
So important.
Very important.
Okay, so we've got self-acceptance,
Yeah.
we've got resilience,
Mm-hmm.
but there's one more piece
Yeah.
of the puzzle
Okay.
that we need to discuss.
Right.
And it's something that
Yeah.
the tale of Nico
Okay.
subtly highlights throughout.
Yeah.
It's not enough
Right.
to just discover our potential.
Right.
We need to,
Well, you need to use it
yeah.
to make a positive impact.
Right, and I think that's something a lot of us are searching for, that feeling of purpose,
Yeah.
of knowing that our life has meaning
Yeah.
beyond just our individual goals.
Absolutely.
So how do we
I know.
tap into that?
How do I do that? Yeah.
I think it starts
Yeah.
with introspection.
Hmm.
Ask yourself,
Okay.
what am I passionate about?
Yeah.
What kind of change
Yeah.
do I want to see in the world?
Totally.
What legacy do I want to leave behind?
What mark do you want to leave?
The answer to those questions.
Yeah.
Hold the clues to
Yeah.
your why.
I love that.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I know.
How a children's story can just spark
Totally.
these really profound insights.
I know.
And we've seen how Nico's journey
Yeah.
kind of mirrors
Right.
our own paths to self-discovery.
Yeah.
But now comes the exciting part.
Here we go.
How do we take these lessons
Right.
and actually make them work for us?
Right. Because it's one thing to talk about embracing individuality, but how do you
Yeah.
actually do that when the world is constantly telling you to fit in?
Yeah, you get caught in that comparison trap, especially.
Ugh, especially with social media, right?
Yes.
Constantly showing us those highlight reels. It's like, where do we even start?
Where do we even begin to break free?
Yeah. I know it's tough.
Yeah.
I think one powerful shift is to really move away from that external validation
Right.
and move towards self-acceptance.
So it's about
Yeah.
recognizing that our worth doesn't come from likes or followers or fitting into some predefined mold.
No.
It comes from,
It comes from within.
right, from who we are at our core.
Totally.
I love that.
It's about embracing those imperfections
Yeah.
and realizing that those are often the
Uh.
very things that make us interesting,
Yeah.
relatable, and ultimately successful.
Yeah. I mean, think about Nico. It was his clumsiness, right?
It was his difference
Yeah.
from the others.
That ended up being his biggest strength.
It was his superpower.
Yeah. What if we applied that logic
Right. What if we all did that?
to our own lives?
It would change everything.
I love that idea.
Me
It's
too.
like turning that whole idea of weakness on its head.
Totally.
So how do we cultivate this self-acceptance?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
It sounds great in theory, but putting it into practice,
It's hard.
that's a whole other challenge.
It is. It takes effort, you know?
Yeah?
One practical tip
Okay.
is to start a gratitude practice.
Okay.
Focused on yourself.
Okay.
Take a few minutes each day
Yeah.
to appreciate
Yeah.
the things that you genuinely like
Okay.
about yourself.
Okay.
Big or small.
I like that.
Could be your creativity, your
Yeah.
kindness,
Mhm.
your ability to make a killer playlist.
It's like shining a spotlight
It is.
on those inner qualities that often.
Right, that get overshadowed.
Get overshadowed by self-doubt.
By all the noise, all the negativity.
And the more we acknowledge them, the more they start to shape
Right.
how we see ourselves.
It changes everything.
Okay, so we've talked about self-acceptance.
Yeah,
But Nico's journey also highlights the importance
totally.
of resilience.
It really does.
Because life
Yes.
is going to throw curveballs.
Oh, it's going to throw a lot of them.
No matter how well we know ourselves.
Doesn't matter.
So how do we build that inner strength
Yeah,
to bounce back
right, to get back up.
when things get tough?
I think one key,
Okay.
and this is something we see Master Tigger subtly teaching Nico,
Okay.
is to reframe how we view failure.
Okay.
Instead of seeing setbacks as defeats, what if we saw them
Yeah.
as valuable learning opportunities?
That's huge.
It's a game changer.
Think about the trials that Nico went through.
I know, right?
Each one, even though he failed,
Yeah.
gave him
They gave him new insight.
new insights and ultimately led to his success.
It's so true.
And I think that's like that saying,
Oh, yeah.
fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Exactly.
It's not about never messing up.
It's not about perfection.
It's about
Right.
progress.
Having the courage.
The
and
courage to keep going.
to get back up, dust yourself off,
Yeah.
try again.
Yeah. And I think, and maybe even with a slightly different approach.
Yeah, and remember, you don't have to go through it alone.
Right. Just like Nico had Master
Yeah.
Tigra.
We all need those support systems.
We need those people.
Yeah, the people who believe in us.
Yeah. The people who challenge us.
Who challenge us, who help us see our potential.
Help us see our potential.
When we can't see it ourselves.
That's so important.
It's so crucial.
We've talked about self-acceptance.
Yeah.
We've talked about resilience. But there's one more piece that we need to discuss.
Okay, let's do it.
And this is something that the tale of Nico
Okay.
subtly highlights.
All right.
Throughout,
And at listening.
it's not enough to just discover our potential.
Right. It's not enough.
We need to find our why,
We got to find our why.
that driving force
That purpose, that thing
Yeah.
that lights us up.
that gives our life meaning.
Yeah, that gives a direction.
And I think that's something
I
a
know.
lot of us are searching for,
We are. That feeling of purpose.
right? That feeling of knowing that our life has meaning beyond
Yes.
just our own individual goals.
Absolutely.
So how do
Let's
we
do it.
tap into that?
Yeah.
I think it starts with
Introspection.
introspection.
Yeah.
Ask yourself,
Ask yourself those tough questions.
what am I passionate about?
Yeah.
What kind of change do I want to see in the world?
What impact do you want to make?
What legacy do I want to leave behind?
What's your mark?
Those are big questions.
Yeah.
But the answers to those questions
Yeah.
hold the clues
The cruise to your why.
to our why.
It's in
It's
there.
about aligning our actions with our values,
Yes.
using our strengths
Using your gifts
to make a difference,
to make a difference. Yeah.
whether it's in our families,
Yeah.
our community,
On communities.
or even on a global scale.
On a global scale.
And remember,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be this grand, earth-shattering
It really does.
mission.
Oh.
It can be as simple
It'd be
as
small.
wanting to make your corner of the world
Yes.
a little bit brighter,
A little bit kinder.
a little bit kinder, a little more.
Yeah, a little bit more just
It's about heart,
finding that thing
that makes you feel alive.
that makes you feel truly alive.
Yeah.
That gives you a sense of purpose and fulfillment.
I love that.
And I think
Yeah.
once you find it,
Yeah.
even the smallest actions
I know.
feel significant
They do, because you're contributing
because you know you're contributing to something
to something bigger
bigger than yourself.
than yourself.
And the tale of Nico so beautifully illustrates
It does.
that true strength comes from knowing yourself
Yeah.
and using your unique abilities
To help others.
to help others. It's a call to action.
It is.
To embrace our individuality,
Yeah.
not just for our own benefit,
Right.
but for the betterment
For everyone.
of the world around us.
Love that.
And that's what this deep dive has been all about.
Encouraging you to see yourself
Yeah.
through a new lens.
Through a new lens.
A lens that celebrates your strengths.
Yeah.
Celebrates your resilience.
Your resilience, yes.
And celebrates your unique potential
your unique potential
to make a positive impact.
to make a positive impact. Yeah.
So as we wrap up, we want to leave you with this.
Okay.
What is your golden leaf?
Oh, I love that question.
What goal or aspiration seems just out of reach?
What's your big dream?
And how can you use your unique camouflage,
Yeah.
those strengths and skills,
Things that make you you.
that make you to
Yeah.
achieve it?
How are you going to get there?
Keep Nico's story in mind
Keep it close.
as you move forward on your own journey.
On your journey, yeah.
Embrace your individuality.
Yes.
Cultivate resilience.
Build that resilience.
Find your why.
Find your why.
And never underestimate
Never.
the power you have to make a difference.
You have the power.
Thank you for joining us
Thank you.
on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights
Yeah.
and inspiration
To keep going.
to fuel your own journey
Yeah.
of self-discovery and growth.
Self-discovery and growth. I love it.
Until next time, stay curious,
Stay curious.
stay inspired,
and keep shining your unique light on the world.
your unique light beautiful.